Lincoln County 911, what is the location of your emergency? Okay, ma'am. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, I need you to take a couple deep breaths so I can see what's going on. What is the address where you need us to come?
130 C-Mac.
Russell, what's going on there?
I just got home from a friend's house, and my wife killed herself.
In December 27, 2011, a man found his wife dead in their home. He thought that she had unalived herself. The police thought otherwise. The woman had been stabbed more than 55 times, her wrists cut to the bone, and there was a serrated kitchen knife left lodged in her neck. It didn't take long for the police to arrest the husband, who was later convicted of it and sentenced to life in prison, and then a dramatic twist. Turns out that the man was completely innocent, and the killer was the prosecutor's star witness. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're examining the disturbing case of Pamela Hupp, whose schemes of deception, murder, and fraud have caused an innocent man to go to jail. Our story begins on December 27, 2011, in Troy, Missouri, when Louis Faria returned home from his weekly game night with friends to discover a horrific scene. His wife, Betsy, lying dead on the floor, stabbed more than 24 times with a steak knife still protruding from her neck. According to Russ, Tuesdays were his game nights with friends, and on that particular night, he had gone to a friend's house as was his usual. He had planned to pick up Betsy, who had gone to do a round of chemo before visiting her mother in Lake St. Louis. Betsy's mother's apartment was just 5 minutes away from his friend's house. However, Betsy had texted him that Pam had offered to bring her home. So Russ stayed with his friends until around 9 p.m. that evening. On the way home, he stopped at an Arby's for 2 junior cheddar melts, eating them as he drove home to Troy, which was 24.6 miles away. By the time Russ came home, Betsy was already dead. And because she had tried unaliving herself before, Russ believed that she had succeeded this time. Unfortunately for Russ, his rock-solid alibi was not accepted by the police and the prosecution. They also dismissed the phone records showing he was 20 miles away at the time of the murder and the multiple witnesses who confirmed his whereabouts. He was even caught on CCTV and was able to provide a receipt that he was at an Arby's restaurant at the time of the murder. But according to the authorities, these friends were covering for him. Possibly they even assisted him in committing the murder, and in their opinion, only Russ had the motive to murder Betsy. In a stunning miscarriage of justice, Russ was convicted of his wife's murder in 2013 and sentenced to life in prison. But what the original jury didn't know was that they never heard critical evidence about someone else who could have been a suspect in Betsy's murder, her very close friend, Pam Hupp. Who is Pam Hupp? Pam and Betsy met in 2001 when they both worked at the State Farm office. They had lost touch over the years, but Pam immediately reached out to offer support when she learned that Betsy had been diagnosed with breast cancer in January 2010. Pam spent a lot of time with Betsy. She even accompanied her during chemo sessions. And just 4 days before Betsy's murder, Pam Hupp had been named the beneficiary of Betsy's $150,000 life insurance policy. Reportedly, Betsy was worried that when Russ got the life insurance payout, he would piss it away. She was also worried that her daughters would spend the money foolishly if she gave it to them directly. So she made Pam her beneficiary, a friend who could hold the money in trust for the girls. That's not the only suspicious thing about Pam. She was the last person known to have seen Betsy alive, having driven her home on the day of the murder. In fact, Pam had tracked down Betsy that day and insisted on spending time with her even when Betsy told her that she wanted one-on-one time with another friend. Unfortunately, when Pam was interviewed, these details never seemed to have come up. Instead, the investigators used Pam's testimony about Russ's odd and violent behavior, especially towards Betsy.
He makes comments about how much money he'll have after she's gone because he's got, this is what she said, I don't know for sure, I've never seen their financials, but he's got life insurance on her at work. He'd start playing this game of putting a pillow over her face to see what it would feel like. I don't know if she said, this is what it's going to feel like when you die or whatever, and then act like he was kidding. She was very upset. Yeah.
She sounds scared.
Oh, yeah.
She even told the authorities to check Betsy's computer, and that's where the police found a document seeming to have been written by Betsy, where she talked about her fears that Russ would hurt her. But no one thought it was suspicious that the document was the only one in the computer that had an unknown author. More importantly, it was written using software that wasn't installed in the computer. Defense attorney Joel Schwartz quickly identified Pam as a potential suspect, noting the suspicious timing of the insurance policy change and inconsistencies in her statements. But he wasn't allowed to bring any of these up because the prosecution claimed that Pam had no direct connection to the case. Fortunately for Russ, he was granted a retrial and acquitted of the murder charges in 2015. He was finally free after years of wrongful imprisonment. Because of this, the investigation on Betsy's murder was reopened. This time, it was Pam who was in the hot seat. And to get the focus off of her, she lured Louis Gumpenberger, a man with disabilities, into her home, claiming she needed help reenacting a 911 call for a TV show. She shot him and staged the scene to make it look like self-defense, but investigators weren't buying it, especially after hearing her 911 call.
911, what's your emergency?
Hey, hello, there's someone breaking in my house. Help!
What's the address you're at?
Help!
Will you get your wife?
No, I'm not getting in the car with you. No,
What's
get
your
away.
address?
Get out, get out, get out. Help!
What's the address you're at?
Help! Help!
Okay, somebody break from me.
No, no.
Hello?
Help! Help!
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Help!
What?
During her police interview, Pam took a pen that had been left on a table and stabbed herself in the neck and wrists while in the bathroom. Pamela Hupp's lies had finally caught up with her. In 2019, she was sentenced to life in prison for the murder of Louis Gumpenberger. But the story doesn't end there. She now faces charges for Betsy Faria's murder, with prosecutors seeking the death penalty, a master manipulator, a cold-blooded killer. Pamela Hupp's story is a chilling reminder that sometimes the most dangerous people are the ones we trust the most. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell for more true crime stories. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe.